Hey everybody, it's your friendly neighborhood DJ JazzHandss here. So first I would kind of like to apologize for dead air because, or fear the dead air because it's a little bit late. I understand that. I fully get that. I wasn't able to come in Tuesday and actually do the show. I don't know if you can hear, but I'm sick. I've been sick since Sunday night, and it's just kind of it's thrown my voice completely out. I've had headaches. I haven't been a happy camper at all. But I still want to try to get the video out, so I'm feeling a little bit better. And so this is going to be a quick one. This is going to be a quick review of last Sunday's Epic, and I hate that I missed it. I really hate that I missed it. Epic Fear the Walking Dead episode mid-season finale, which was titled Shiva. Okay, Fear, this is what I was talking about, and this is what I wanted. I've wanted episodes like this. This is what makes me care about the characters. This is what makes me like the characters. I only watched it one time this time, so the analysis isn't going to be as in-depth as some of the other ones. Like I said, this is going to be a shorter episode, and I feel absolutely like crap. But anyway, yeah, it was a really good episode. I liked every character development. Chris needs to get his stuff together. He needs to get his stuff together because whatever's going through his head, I mean, it's an interesting, I think what I've said before, what I've been saying through the entire season is that this is an evolution of bad guys. That I think is what that's happening with Chris. Maybe not so much the other ones, but that's definitely happening with Chris. And this is what we're going to see, somebody go from a normal person to slowly becoming a villain. I mean, he held a kid up at knife point, to just so his dad would, leave him alone and stuff. And then Travis went with him, which that was an interesting, I didn't see that coming, honestly. I thought Travis was going to leave him and we'd run into Chris later, but I actually do kind of like that. And it's splitting the team up. And we've seen before with The Walking Dead when the team gets split up, but it's like a team that was already not fully there, be split up is kind of interesting. And it's like, well, they were kind of essentially a crap group, let's face it, to begin with. There was a lot of internal struggle going on, and so now that they've split up, I'm wondering if it's going to be, hey, we're better off on our own, or this is what we've needed, or how much they actually have needed each other. But Travis going with Chris was actually interesting, because he feels responsible that his son's acting this way. He lost his mother and he needs his father now. It doesn't matter, and of course with Nick finding them and kind of Nick understanding. Nick's definitely interesting. Nick has gotten a lot more interesting, but I really feel that I hate to say it, he is a sympathizer. Oh, sorry. I also do apologize if you hear a lot of background noise and stuff. I'm filming this at home at like the middle of the day. So yeah, because I haven't had a chance to get in or even film anything else or record anything else because I've been sick. But Nick's kind of a sympathizer of the Walkers, which is interesting. And I think the witch lady, Cecilia, I think her name's Cecilia. Yeah, Cecilia. I think Cecilia can definitely play off that. And she sees him because there was definitely a parallel, and it was the only thing I actually did write down, where she said something where it's like, oh yeah, they have a lifeless expression, but they're not dead, they're still in there, or something like that. And it was a parallel really hard with what Nick, I believe, felt with him being an addict. And so it's this, he views them as addicts, and so he sympathizes with the Walkers. Now I'm hoping that changes at some point, because we've gotten some deaths. We've gotten Daniel's death, and we've gotten a couple others, but I don't think we've had any severe ones where they've watched people get ripped apart. I don't think they've seen that yet, that I'm aware of. And so I'm waiting for one of them, the members of their group, to kind of get ripped apart to where it'll snap Nick out of it. But I don't think he will. I don't know where they're going to go with him. I really don't. He's interesting. And they were totally right, and I was totally right with how they said it's like no matter how much good this character can do, because he's an addict and because he has been an addict, you're worried that he's going to slip back into his old ways, and that's what his mother and everybody else was kind of worried about, and he has. And well, not in his old ways, but he's gone down a darker path, and he's gone down a darker path. I don't know what they're going to do with him. It looks like he might run into Negan next episode after the mid-season premieres. So I don't know. I don't think that's Negan. It has to be, though, like a reference to Negan. And if it is Negan, and somehow we get it to where we find Negan and he was actually in Mexico, and then they travel up to Alexandria, and Nick travels with them, and then Nick becomes a part of the main cast of The Walking Dead. I don't know how I'd feel. That'd be interesting. That'd be kind of interesting. I think it'd be trying to tie way too much in, but it would be interesting. Okay, so Daniel in this episode was interesting. I liked that there was this craziness about him. I liked that it was unwarranted, and he lost it. Like, he lost it. He really, and it wasn't like lost it. It was like his demons finally caught up with him, and he felt bad. And because he was kind of thrown back into this war zone, essentially, he kind of devolved again into this, person who's fighting, and he's become very paranoid, and the ghosts of his past have caught up with him, and so he's very much. He's trying to make amends with that, because I think he knows he's going to die soon, which we see him die. I mean, we haven't seen him die, but we've seen him die. And so his whole story arc was good. I've been wanting that kind of big death, and unfortunately it was a little anticlimactic, for me at least. I thought his death was cool because he burned all those walkers, but okay, good. It was, for me, it was just anticlimactic. The same with Cecilia's death, if she did die, with Madison locking her in the cage. It just seemed very anticlimactic, and she was actually, I will say this, a really good villain. I liked the idea of her as a villain. She was manipulative. She was this kind, sweet old lady that, could turn, poison a church. She was a cool villain, and I would have liked to have seen more of her. We got that one boat guy, which I absolutely hated, those pirates, Jack and his crew, where they found Alex and stuff. Like, I hated those villains, but Cecilia was a really good villain, and I loved her, and I wish she was still. I hope that there was something where she might have snuck out, where she might have gotten out, and because the group destroyed her home, it might be one of those things where they're going to be chasing them. Maybe they even join. Maybe Alex and Jack join up with her, and it becomes kind of like this cat and mouse kind of chase all throughout Mexico, which I think would be really, really interesting. But her death, if she did die, which I hope she didn't, but her death was kind of anticlimactic for me. I'm trying to remember everything else because, like I said, I've only watched it last Sunday because I've just been dog sick. Like, I don't know. I think you could tell in my voice that it's gruff. I think it sounds good, but overall, like, Madison's story arc too, I really liked it. There was the part at the end where she had to let, she essentially had to let Nick go, and I don't think she's ever done that before, where she's like, okay, I'm, fully done with you, Nick, I'm fully done. She let Nick go, and we'll see what happens, because the rest of the group needs her, Ophelia, Alicia, Strand, which, it was nice to see Strand back. It was nice to see Strand. But Madison, I like that she did kind of pull that, oh yeah, I'll go with you, and close the gate and everything like that. Like, and it was interesting that her and Cecilia had the motion of, what's right for Nick. And I like that when Nick was just like, oh, you're looking at me like I'm a drug addict again. Which she is, she has that feeling that I've had, which is he's slipping back into his old ways, no matter what that is. So it was interesting. I think that she has the potential to be a really good character and a really good leader. She just needs to kind of let go more. And it's going to be interesting to see where she goes now, because essentially she lost Travis. She lost Nick. So she either is going to be extremely gung-ho. And, the one person who I wouldn't ever have thought would be her right-hand man is Strand. I think those two are going to work really, really well together. And I think they're going to bring the group together. I mean, Strand in this episode, I liked him. He had his kind of sassiness again, and he was fun. I mean, what more can I say about it? Like, if you watch the episode, it was really fun. I liked that he left, but then came back, and it's like he really, really cares for this group, and he wanted to bury Thomas, and so that was nice. Overall, because like I said, and I apologize that it's so short, and this is kind of crappy and not the biggest in-depth review that I've done. And if I'm skipping anything, I do apologize on that. But like I said, I've been absolutely sick. This is the fear. I'm just gonna say this. This is how you do it. This made me fully care about what's going on in this world. This made me care about the characters a lot more. It's got me excited. This was the first time I actually, because with The Walking Dead, I yell at the TV. And even though I started feeling really crappy Sunday, I still was yelling because I thought Madison was going to die when Nick and the walkers, or when Nick was walking down the alleyway. I was like, oh, he's all bloody. She's going to get confused that that's a walker and get bit. Still waiting for a little bit more consequences with the characters, but Fear, this is how you do it. This is how you make an episode. This is what you do. There was some stuff that was still a little bit anticlimactic. I think you could have used Cecilia a little bit better. Daniel's death, although it was meaningful to him, we still haven't seen too much of the brutal ripping apart, hordes. In this season at least. And hopefully we'll continue that with part B. Hopefully we'll get some more of that with part B. And you gotta fix the text. Because whenever sometimes somebody reads or speaks in Spanish or whatever, it's hard to read. It's really hard to read. But anyway, because I feel kind of crappy. So, thanks everybody so much for tuning in. Again, I apologize that this is late. We hopefully, if all goes according to plan, we still, I won't be sick. I shouldn't still be sick after the summer when it comes back in August. And I'm glad that they're continuing it, because now we're going to be able to get a full good season out of it instead of just part of one. Because if this was the season finale for season 2, I would have been a little bit mad, because not a lot happened within the first season. But as a first part of the season, it was a good first part of the season. And keep it up, keep getting better. I'm invested now. You got me invested. So, and honestly, stay tuned, because next week, even though we're technically done with The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead, I got another treat for you, and hopefully I'll feel better by next Tuesday, so I can post it. But it's a surprise for The Walking Dead, and I'm excited to actually get down and sit down and talk about it. But thanks everybody so much for not just tuning in, but listening over YouTube, because this is posted on YouTube. But thanks everybody for listening. It's been a lot of fun, and I hope I'll see you all hopefully much better next week. Bye, everybody.